The Environmental Protection Agency has committed to fully implementing the Endangered Species Act, and that requires all federal agencies ensure their actions don't harm nearly 1,700 endangered or threatened species. Ag Day's Michelle Rook joins us. And Michelle, what does it mean and how costly could this be for farmers?
Clinton, a study commissioned in key states by the American Soybean Association shows if the Endangered Species Act is fully implemented, its provisions will affect the crop protection products used by farmers on nearly every acre in the U.S., and that will result in a huge economic burden for farmers. Under the Act, EPA can't register pesticides under the Federal Insecticide, Fungicide, and Rodenticide Act, or FIFRA, unless applicants can show that properly using crop protection products won't cause unreasonable adverse effects on the environment. So ASA's Steve Censky says some farmers could lose the use of certain herbicides.
Most producers today would not be in compliance with the EPA's draft herbicide strategy as they've released it. And that in order to comply, it would be very costly for them to implement these activities.
He says they understand EPA is being mandated by the courts after years of failed litigation. However, for many farmers, the cost to protect listed species so they can use certain pesticides is so high it could put them out of business.
In many cases, they would have to take multiple steps to try to comply and earn the number of points that to be eligible to be able to use those herbicides. They would have to implement, not only cover crops, but buffer strips. They might have to, reduce their rates of herbicide application by half or more. And it would just be all very expensive, very costly, and really not practical at all.
Mary Kay Thatcher with Syngenta says they agree with the ASA's cost analysis and the call for EPA to provide better maps identifying where endangered species are located. And she says they must also counter maps released by groups like the Center for Biological Diversity.
They want to say not just, oh, this fish is an endangered species, let's cover this creek, but let's cover this whole area where that fish might go sometime in the future. So that's going to mean we're also going to have to step our side of the game up to come up with maps that are probably more reasonable.
However, ASA also says maps should account for the impact current conservation practices are having on preserving species and the actual usage data. Censky says EPA is assuming maximum label rates times the maximum number of applications, so they aren't using sound science. I'm Michelle Rook reporting for Ag Day.